What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about the EA title update that they created for the month of September. Okay, now the thresholds have been clearly stated. What happens is you're going to need somebody with at least 80 agility and 75 jump. Why do I have packs here? What is this? Okay, don't worry about that. We'll get to that later. All right, so anyway, what we're going to be doing right now is I'm going to show you some of the cheaper ones because most of you guys are asking, like, look, Gmia, a lot of us don't have coins and stuff like that. So who are the budget ones? I'm going to let you guys know that the Master Shazier, he actually is probably the best user right now since the update. He's going to get an animation no matter what, and it's very, very dangerous. Some of you guys, we're up to 80 Masters here at GmiasWorld, so we're doing pretty well early in the season. If you guys want to go ahead and check out the playlist, you guys can see how, I try to encourage you guys to get it done. And we've had 80 guys come through so far, so that's very, very huge. Also, while you're checking out playlists, search GmiasWorld Podcast and GmiasWorld Gaming, and go ahead and subscribe to both those channels. The podcast channel is about NFL recaps if you guys are into the NFL, but it's very, very brutal and honest, regardless of who your team is. And in GmiasWorld Gaming, we're just getting that started. We're going to be doing a lot of live streaming there with all these other games other than Madden. Madden will be on there for live streams, but as far as just general gaming, we're going to have so many other games there, so you guys should definitely go ahead and check that out. What you're going to look at right now is Anthony Barr, the power-up, right? So he's going for about like 25, 30K. But when you power him up, he's going to meet those thresholds. He's very, very good. And I told you guys to just hold on to him. Remember when he wasn't getting picks and you guys were like, yo, Gmi, this guy sucks? I agree with you. The guy does suck. But now he meets the threshold. He has 83 agility, and his jumping is what? Where's his jumping? 77. So he has at least a 75 jump, and he has at least the 80 agility. So he's been getting a lot of user picks for me. I actually tested out. I've played about 40 games competitive mode against the CPU. I haven't played online yet. But like I said, it's the same thing. I've already been getting feedback about it since I spoke about it on Twitter at GmiasWorld. And a lot of you guys, you're very, very happy with the way that they react as long as they meet the threshold. I was finishing up all my ultimate kickoff solo, so I didn't get to go online. But I can guarantee you this. With these thresholds, the way that he was picking the ball off in competitive mode, I told you, it's the same thing. Especially with like solo battles and everything like that, it's the same thing. If they react in competitive mode offline, they're going to react online. Just understand it. Just use competitive mode as your tester. All right? So that's Anthony Barr. He's very, very cheap. You power him up. It's not going to cost you that much. You're going to have a great user right there. Now, with Ryan Shazier, he's just unbelievable with those traits. Okay? So if you have him, I blitz him, so I'm not going to be able to have the luxury to do all the stuff as far as user because I would have to get somebody else that's suitable to scream with a 90 speed, so that's probably not going to work. But you can see his agility is just way above the 80 threshold, and he can jump through a stadium, okay, with his 94 jump. So he's going to get every animation. He's going to get the animations from when Ballhawk was first introduced in Madden 13. He's going to jump out of the stadium, all right? So just understand that. That's very, very key. What we're going to be looking to do is this. We're going to look at two other linebackers, okay? Like specifically the ones that I would recommend for you. I don't know if I have them. I think I might have the rookie middle linebacker. Let me just check. But it's going to be Tremaine Edmonds and Deon Jones. Okay, those guys are going to be putting in work like savages. But let me just go to we're going to go to the core rookie. And we're going to go, okay, 79. Do I have him? I have a lot of 70. Wait a minute. Okay, no, we don't have him. I think he's like a 79. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to search him in the auction house. And I don't have a Deon Jones either. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at both those cards. And then we're going to talk about, what's the benefits of them. Now, the Buffalo Bills suck. We just saw that with the Ravens. But this guy, Tremaine Edmonds, he's pretty good. All right, in the game. I don't know how he, the Bills played so poorly, I don't really know exactly what to say about the guy, but you can see his price right now. All right? More than likely, this price is going to go up. Okay, but I'm going to show you right now what's going on. His agility is the 80, so it meets the threshold, and then his jumping is pretty decent. Now, I've put in a lot of time to make sure that I got the best rates for you guys. All right? So even if you want to have somebody else start that doesn't have these attributes to keep your overall up, have him in as a backup, put him in, and go to work, all right? Because he's very, very good as a user. If you just look at, the fact that he has an 80 speed and stuff like that, he's really, really good. Anthony Barr only has an 82. And I was telling you guys even prior to the patch, if you go back to my earlier videos, that agility with the moving around, just go back and search my videos about the best linebackers to use for user picks. I pointed that out way before EA made this a threshold, because the agility, you can feel how they move side to side very easily. So it's not like it's something that I'm not aware of. I just want to make sure that everybody else is. All right, so this guy is like a steal. Okay, you could probably, 5K, whatever. You just have him in your lineup. You just have him chilling. Everything's good. All right. Now, Deon Jones. Miles Jack, I believe, is also pretty good, but I like Deon Jones because he's going to be a guy that could definitely go for that ball. All right. He's 6'1", so it's something that is going to, that might be an issue. It's not necessarily true that it will be an issue, but it might be. Okay. But just understand his agility is 80, so he meets that threshold, and then his jump is a 77. All right. So I gave you the minimum tier. I'm giving you like a medium tier. I showed you Bar. I showed you the Mutt Master. Obviously, it's, Mutt Master is ideal, but it's a lot of work. And I also wouldn't recommend using him because he's such a monster off the edge. If you send him on blitzes, I would say 90% of the time, even if they slide protect and have the entire team on that side, Shazier is going to block shed. Even with the addition, the new patch, the September patch, what they did was they toned down the contained blitzes off the edge. So what happens now is the linemen actually pick them up for the most part. But there are ways for them to still come in. And, speed and block shed, finesse move, stuff like that, that Ryan Shazier has, that's very, very important. Now, you can look through a lot of linebackers yourself. Those are the guys I'm going to recommend. You can do whatever you want, though. Okay, you can try to experiment and see what's going on, but I've tested out several of these guys, and I will tell you that once they meet that threshold, they're pretty much good to go. Okay, they're pretty much good to go. This guy has an 81 agility. I believe he has the jumping that's necessary also. Yeah, so he's good. Miles Jack is also good. But you can see his price. What is his lowest? Okay, so he's up because people realize what's going on, but I don't know if those other guys that have him at the 70K is just idiots or whatever, but 45K is about right. Okay, keep in mind, though, that he is part of the Team Diamond set for Jalen Ramsey, so this card might not be ideal if you're just starting off and trying to figure out what's going on. So I would recommend that, Trayvon Edmonds is pretty good. If you wanted to just have somebody in your lineup as you build your team and you just don't want to have a guy that doesn't react. Because what I did was I utilized other players that don't have both thresholds to see how they would react, okay? And they don't go after the ball the same way. If you haven't played Madden 13, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about the ridiculous jump through the roof animations. But what's been happening is Anthony Barr has been jumping so high, I don't know how he lands on the ground without breaking his legs ever since the patch. Okay, so it is something that's working right now, and I just want to make sure that my viewers have the right tools that are. I want you to be able to not have a guy that is a squirrel with rabies and no eyeballs dot you anymore. If the ball is thrown in front of you, I need you to be able to pick it. Now, Luke Kuechly, if you want to go expensive end, right? Luke Kuechly, his new card, that Ultimate Kickoff, he's also very, very good as well. Okay, so if that's something that you were looking into doing, okay, so is it UE? I'm trying. I always mess up his name. UE, I guess it is. Is he in there? Okay, so it's UEC. Okay. This guy right here. Let me check his core elite though. 335. What's this all about? Okay, so his agility is 78. So his core elite, even with the chem, will probably go up 1, so that won't be right. But this one right here, this guy is pretty good. Okay, he has everything that's needed. 81 agility, and his jumping is good. That's if you like trying to go next tier, okay, and you complete all the 99 solos, and you're working towards the other 3, and you just want to get another card. This guy will be suitable for a user. Not only that, you can look at some of his other stats, and his zone coverage is pretty high. Now, the meta for the zone coverage, people are saying various things, but the one thing that I did notice is that at 90, they react very, very heavily to the ball. I will say that. But 80s have been pretty good for me as far as linebackers go. But this guy, if you didn't want to use him as a user, because like I said, Barr is 6'5" with an 82 speed, so it works out for me. Chemmed up, he goes to an 83. 6'3" is more than suitable, especially since, Deon Jones jumps through the roof and he's only 6'1". Trayvon Edmonds, he's also a guy that's pretty tall, like I showed you, with an 80 speed. So there are other routes to go. But I'm just making you guys understand that depending on your bank account, you can have different options. And just understand that you don't have to affect your overall in order to make yourself a better user. You don't need to do that. You don't have to sacrifice, your overall to have a better user as a starter. Okay, you can easily just go through and pick any of the guys that I showed you and figure out how you want to make it work. Now, in my situation, Anthony Barr being my starter, if he were to go out for any reason, like if he gets tired during the game, that's a reason that you could put Trayvon Edmonds in the game, but that's very, very rare that he goes out of the game. Okay, so I don't really need to worry about that. You guys might ask me if it's necessary to do it. What I would recommend is that you do. Okay, you make sure that you have one. Like, what is he, 5K? I'm gonna go back now and get one of him just to have him on the squad. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure, because once they start to upgrade and stuff like that and start to change up what's going on within the game, people are going to realize that these guys are worth the value. Okay, so he's a linebacker that's worth the value. So I'm going to spend the 5K if he's still there for the 5K just to have him in the lineup, because very, very, rarely dudes do go out. Okay, so he still is 5K. So I think that that's suitable for him. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to snatch him, because at least we know if something does happen, this guy with agility and jumping meets the threshold. So I would just recommend that you have him on the squad. As a backup, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Just having him there, that works. It just, sometimes you play idiots that hurry up every play and they're just walking around with SpongeBob G-strings over their pants and they have no idea what they're doing. And they move the ball down the field on you. And then that was before the patch. Now, if you're able to just always make sure that you have somebody there, it may not work out the same way for these idiots. So I just want to make sure that we have our T's crossed and our I's dotted. We have the people in proper spots to make sure it happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him here, because I don't need Zak Cunningham in the game for that. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be able to make plays for me. Hold up, what is Mark Barron? What is he doing? Let me see. What's his agility? 76. So he's trash. All right, so we're not going to work with that guy. We are on middle line. Okay, so there he goes right there. So we'll put him in and take the other guy out. What was his what was the guy that I was taking out that was an 80? Did you guys look at that real quick and see what's going on with him? Was he somebody that was suitable? Zach? Okay, Zak Cunningham. What are you doing? Agility, 80. Okay. And what's your jumping? Jumping is 76. Okay, so Zak Cunningham also meets the threshold. So I could have actually kept him in as well. 76 and agility is 80. Okay, so again, these are things that you can probably look into doing. And he's also 6'3". So I might not even sell him or put him in a token set. I can probably keep him. Let me look and see what's going on. So that way I know I have other backups that are also suitable. Let me just point out that Brian Urlacher, right now where he's chemmed, he doesn't meet the threshold. Okay, his agility is a 76. I don't know when he gets up, if he gets to that point through upgrading, because I stopped him at an 87, but agility, he doesn't meet the threshold. Okay, so that's an issue. Jumping, he's good, but he doesn't meet the threshold right there for the agility. Possibly it goes up and it's something there, but he helps with the overall as a second middle linebacker, so that's why he's there. All right. Shakima Griffin, I have him over here already, right? So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put the other guy. You know what? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put we'll put Zak Cunningham back in the game. Okay, just to have him in there. It doesn't really matter which way these guys are, but it'll just be better to just have him right there and then the other guy where he is. It just makes it easier. So we'll do that. All right, so it's that guy, then it's Trayvon, and then we're pretty much good. So now we have everything that's needed. We have backups. If Barr gets tired for whatever reason, we make sure that we have Zak Cunningham or Trayvon Edmonds in, and that's probably what we're going to do. We're probably going to use Edmonds over the other guy because he's taller, and at least we know that we'll get that user pick animation if it's needed. If we play a guy that's a raccoon with one eye socket and his TV off, if he tries to dot us, we'll be able to do something about it. If you have any other questions about the thresholds with the user picks or making sure that you set yourself up in the proper position, feel free to leave the comment. Go over to Twitter at GmiasWorld, Facebook at GmiasWorld, Instagram at GmiasWorld. Make sure you sub the GmiasWorld Gaming and GmiasWorld Podcast. And I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. Enjoy your day. One love.